Good evening, viewers. It's time for another Subscriber Monday. It is episode 9 or part 9, whatever you prefer. This week we have something kind of new, actually, or different. Say first for the channel. I do believe we have the first replay from a server that's not the North American server. So congratulations to Blackworm2 and Stefan2. So here we have on Mountain Pass, I believe it's Mountain Pass. Yeah, Mountain Pass. Blackworm2 in his Type 58 and Stefan2 in his Chroma. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce your name. If not, please correct me. Anyways, he took a shot at the arrow, kind of rushed it a bit, mainly because it was already getting shot, so it was probably going to back off, I would assume. So he doesn't have a shot on the Hellcat anymore. Seeing if he has a shot on the VK, he does, aiming, fires, gets a good hit. Hellcat pops back up, hits him, so that's generally not a good thing. Seeing if he has a shot at the Hellcat, and he so far doesn't, and then it vanishes. Alright. Takes a blind shot, hoping to get lucky, and it does not appear he did. So he's kind of aiming at the ledge. Because a lot of the time you'll see that medium tanks are quick. Tank destroyers rush up there to try getting shots over here and in the middle. So he's aiming over there in case anything gets spotted, which it hasn't. IS is tired of the VK, so he's just going to kill him. So he's going up to see if he has shots on the arrow or the KV-1, and so far he doesn't. And keep an eye on the tanks over here. They have a lot of tanks, and a lot of good tanks as well. They even have a Panther, a T-150 over there. Against a Cromwell, Hellcat, and M6. And T-3485. But somehow they're going to lose that. So he's rushing up. He's going to go into the little indent on the right, so that he can hopefully shoot the guys on the left without taking any hits from, you know, the ones on the right, or hopefully from the left as well. So he's aiming at the arrow, fires. He would appear to have peaked up a bit too much on that one. Now this is a problem that a lot of tanks have, including the arrow and the M3 Lee. They have a giant like cupola or second turret or whatever on the top of their tank, which, you know, you can shoot, but they can't shoot you while you're shooting that type of situation. So it's kind of a drawback, really. Aims at the duck, kills the duck. So he has 2 kills, 676 damage. Cannot get a hit on the VK though. He's gonna go and help the guys in the flank on the right, which should have easily won, but somehow lost horribly. I think they only killed the Hellcat. Yeah, they only killed the Hellcat. So he's going in. He could have shot the T-3485 there, but he's going for the Cromwell instead. Cromwell no longer in sight, so he goes for the M6. Gets a low roll on the M6, a pretty bad low roll too. Leaving on 9 hit points, of course. Aiming at the T-3485, fires, kind of rushed that a bit, so it misses. So this flank, they need to take care of, because the other flank is dead as well, and they have an AMX M4 in their base somehow. So he's pushing up, seeing if he can get some hits into these guys. VK is dying. VK is dead. Alright. The T-3485 is dead. Gonna finish off the Cromwell. And now he's gonna go back to base, because if you look at the minimap, there's an AMX M4 45 attacking the base, and they only have a duck defending it, so not really an ideal situation. His platoon member in the Cromwell has gone up the middle, I'm assuming to shoot the VK, and most likely stop any more tanks from getting up there. At least I'm assuming that. I can't really see what he's doing, so they're going back to the base. He has a KV-1S helping him, so hopefully this goes well. AMX M4 has finally killed the Tuck. His platoon member in the Cromwell has killed the VK, so that's one threat down. He switched to APCR, just to make his shot count, pretty much, I'm assuming. To make sure that pens. Though you could just fire into the drive wheel and track him, and that'll decap, but yeah, it probably won't. Depending on how you shoot, it probably wouldn't do damage as well, unless you do it right. Aiming at the side, still APCR. They kill him. APCR probably wasn't necessary on the AMX M4, but it got the job done anyways. You probably could have fired AP into the side, but yeah. So now they're going for the enemy cap. The Panzer SFL was in the middle, so it probably still is. It's not the fastest of tanks. Tiger P was spotted over there, so it either pushed forward or went back to base, and IS-2 is clearly defending the base, since our IS just ran into it. So his platoon member is killing the Panzer SFL. He now has a shot on it. Can he get it? And no. His platoon member finishes it off. So if they get one more kill, they get BIA, or Brothers in Arms, in case you don't know. Their IS just died. He had a very extreme advantage. He got an early shot into the IS-2, leaving on 125. He had 680, I think. And he has now died without doing any more damage, so that's unfortunate. So they're being cautious, which is understandable, because they could potentially be one-shot by the IS-2, and possibly the Tiger P. I haven't played the Tiger P, so I don't know the damage on it, but I think it could potentially one-shot Black Worm. I could be wrong. So the KV-1S has moved up, so he's gonna go and join him. Or her, whatever. So they're moving up, and gets a shot on the side or front to the IS-2, it's hard to tell. Tracks it, does no damage, so that's unfortunate. And going by the chat, I'm assuming that they're most likely German. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they are. So the M7 would appear to have driven into the IS-2. That's not really a good idea generally. So now they're in a kind of tricky situation. They're both in tier 6 tanks, and they're both in medium tanks which don't have armor, for the most part. And they're facing two tier 7 heavy tanks which do have armor. And the two tier 7s are the ones defending. So there's not many ways they can really get around the heavy tanks. The heavy tanks only really need to watch two ways. And there's only 6 minutes left, so he's loaded the APCR and aiming for the cheek and cupola. Like I've said before, APCR isn't an I win button. You still have to aim with your shots, otherwise you're probably going to bounce. And it would appear he actually is aiming, which is a good thing. Gets another shot into the cheek. Cromwell puts a shot into him as well, but it would appear he took a hit in return. That one bounces, so he's aiming for the cupola. Fires, gets a good pen there. Being kind of cautious here. He doesn't want to get shot, understandably. Aiming, rushes that shot, still hits. Now he has 2 APCR rounds left. Now, he can one-shot both of them now. However, if he doesn't pen, he could potentially die. In this situation, it probably would have been a better idea to switch to HE and try just killing him that way. because you don't actually have to penetrate that way. And yeah. So this is... The Tiger P lost a lot of hit points by doing that kind of blind rush. So he probably learned from that and won't do it again. I would assume. Any smart person would be in that situation, really. Where they, learned not to do something after it went horribly wrong the first time. But it is World of Tanks. Some people can surprise you. So they're kind of waiting. They're both one shots, potentially. More so the Cromwell than anything. They can't really go forward and spot, and there's a Tiger P. So he didn't learn the first time, apparently. Cromwell has a perfect side shot on him, and yeah, he couldn't really take, because if he goes out, he probably would have taken a hit. Fires, that one bounces. It would appear it went into the actual hull of the tank. Rushes that shot a bit since he got hit, and would appear to have shot the dirt. So now he's down to AP rounds. So this is where it gets interesting. He took a hit, so he's on 29 hit points. Cromwell is on 105. No idea what that was. And they didn't really do any damage in return. Tiger P is trying it again for some reason. Cromwell fires, hits the dirt. Yet again, hits the dirt. He's going forward. He doesn't have gun depression because he's in a Chinese tank, which is quite a problem for most Chinese tanks. Fires at the cupola, misses that one. Getting aimed at, so backs off. Cromwell moves up into that little indent there. And finishes him off. So now, they're going to move forward and hopefully kill the IS-2. Now the IS-2, there's only 2 minutes left. The IS-2 could be going around, but that would be wasting a lot of time. So he's probably just sitting in the cap. And most likely just watched his teammate just die horribly. So aiming at the side, that's a bit of a bad angle for Blackworm though. Going forward. It's lucky there that he doesn't hit him. Aiming at the cupola. Doesn't aim properly. And kind of rushes that shot so that misses. So it's kind of a... They're having a bit of a standoff here. They both can one-shot each other. The IS has more armor. The Type 58 has more speed, but you're not really in a position where you want to be using that right now. You can't flank around. You only have 1 minute and 40 seconds left. And you can't see your enemy anymore. Well, now you can. And the other problem is the IS-2 doesn't have the top gun. He's stock. So he has a faster reload than if he had the top gun. If I'm not mistaken. So it's a kind of unfortunate position to be in. He also doesn't have any more APCR. He could load an HE round and potentially kill him in one shot though. But he's going for the AP. Which, in my opinion, is probably a bad choice here. And you're going to see why in a minute or two. Actually, just a minute, because there's only a minute left in the game. Alright, so they're down to 50 seconds. Who's going to go for who's going to rush and go in, pretty much? IS, which is hoping for a top gun and a win, or Blackworm, which is just hoping for a win? What do you think? Alright, it's the IS-2. Aiming for the cupola, fires, bounces. IS-2 bounces on him. So, IS-2 has a quick reload, but he will probably have the faster reload of the two. So you can probably get another shot off. Aiming for the cupola again. Fires at the side, that's a horrible angle. And that one bounces. Luckily the IS-2 bounces on him as well, so he's going to push forward this time now. Aiming for the cupola, yet again, misses. And fires into the side, so he does have a faster reload. And the IS-2 stopped angling his armor, so that's going to penetrate. Now, he did win that engagement, yes, but he took 2 hits and a miss from the IS-2. Now, if the IS-2 actually aimed properly or used gold, he would have been dead. And he bounced like 3 shots on the IS-2. So, whereas if he fired HE, he probably would have killed him with 1 or 2. So it probably could have been better there, but we'll go into that for panel result. Alright, so that was a first class mastery badge. And Spartan, because he took like 2 hits from the IS-2 on 29 hit points. Did 1,925 damage, 4 kills, pretty good experience as well. His platoon member came in third with 1,628 damage and 3 kills and 902 experience. He fired 29 shots, 21 hit the target, 16 penetrated. Took 5 hits, 3 penetrated, 2 bounced from the IS-2, and he blocked 780 damage. That's more damage than he has hit points to begin with. So there's that. He spotted 1 enemy, damaged 8, destroyed 4, got 7 base defense points, and a pretty good distance traveled. Made a profit of 1,373 because he was firing a bit of gold there. Pretty good double. His platoon member did pretty well as well. Fired 34 shots, 21 hit the target. Probably could improve that a bit. But he was in a, at least at the end, he was in a pretty tricky situation where he had to rush. Appeared to have rushed a couple shots. 16 penetrated, did 1,628 damage, took 4 hits, 4 penetrated, to be expected from a Cromwell, doesn't really have armor. Damaged 2 enemies, destroyed 3, 5 base defense points, and a pretty good distance traveled. So, hopefully, thank you for sending in the replay. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Feel free to like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and thank you for